And the streets of Paris have become rife with talk of revolution.
Jean Valjean, having escaped the Thénardiers' lair and the clutches of Javert once more,
returned to his house in the Rue Plumet. However, his sense of paranoia increased yet further since he was kidnapped.
And his concerns for Cassette's well-being had grown significantly. As a result,
he spent time at all three of his residences across Paris in order to maintain a noticeable presence at each. Thus, it would not be noticed if he decided to take Cosette to any one of those dwellings.
To continue his avoidance of Javert, a man who had lost none of his appetite to recapture him.
So, are you sure you've told me all you can about the man you kidnapped?
Kidnapped? We were simply having a conversation with the man, that is all.
Do not overstep your already precarious position. Was there nothing else?
Like we said, Inspector, he was well-dressed, middle-aged, but unusually strong for a man of his years.
Did you happen to notice 5 digits on his left forearm?
On his left forearm? I don't remember. Ah! A little leniency might help to jog my memory.
Enough. You are the worst of society. No better than rats in the sewer, like any other who flout the law. However, the threatened man who flees upon rescue is perhaps more suspicious than those who threaten him. Whoever your victim was, I'll warrant he would be more of a prize for the authorities than all of you combined.
In the absence of a victim, Inspector, and without any apparent crime having been committed, are we not free to leave?
Begone, scum. I will waste no more of my time with you. Be warned! I will be watching all activities in your quarter very closely. Do not think you can escape the reach of Javert if you even so much as bend the law. Out of my sight.
Are you going to tiptoe away without saying anything, young man?
What? How on earth did you know I was here? You must have the ears of a hawk.
I don't see so well, so my powers of hearing make up for it.
You do keep a pretty garden, sir.
Thank you, lad, thank you. What's your name?
Gavroche, sir.
But do you live around here?
You could say that. Sort of.
Do you live with your parents?
No, sir. They lived on Montfermeil last time I saw them.
But
there wasn't in there.
Why don't you stay with them, Gavroche?
If you knew them, you would not need to ask, sir.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You need not be sorry. I've been much happier since I came to Paris.
But how do you live, lad?
I live off Paris. It's easy when you know how. I can run errands. I can retrieve lost items from small spaces. I'm familiar with the city, and I can help those who are not. All this means I can earn a sou or two.
See, and has Paris provided you with a sou or two today, or at least something to eat, lad?
Not today, sir. No.
Then have an apple. I will not allow you to refuse.
You are most kind, sir. What is your name?
You may call me Father by birth. Everybody else does around these parts. Good day to you, little Gavroche. It was a pleasure to meet with you.
You also, Father above. That's a lovely apple. Good day.
Father Mabeuf,
Ah,
how are you today?
blessed with visitors, it seems. Come, Maris. Why so glum?
Forgive me for burdening you with my troubles, but I fear I shall never look upon her face again.
Do not lose hope, Marius.
What reason do I have to hope? Allow me to fetch you some tea. Now rest, my old friend.
Good day to you, Mr. Marius.
I think I'll take my tea inside and leave you too.
Thank you, Father Mabeuf.
You have a melancholy air. I want you to be pleased. Promise me that you'll smile. I want to see you smile.
I have little to smile about.
Perhaps you do. You see, I have that dress you asked me to get of that young lady.
Really? Well then please tell me, or leave me there. Ask me anything you wish. Where is it?
It is in quite the other direction from here. I know the street and the house. I can take you to it if you like.
Please. But swear to me one thing, Ebony. Swear to me that you will not give this address to your father.
How do you know my name is Ebony? I never told you. That is nice. You have called me Ebony.
But answer me in the name of heaven. Swear to me that you will not tell your father of this address.
Be at ease. My father has gone to ground after a brush with the law. Besides, what do I care for him?
But you did not promise me, Ebony.
Yes, all right. I promise, I swear, I will not tell my father the address. There, is that what you wanted to hear?
Yes. Thank you. Now please, take me there.
Please, tears. Do not follow me so closely, Mr. Marius. Let me go on ahead and then follow me. A nice young man like you must be seen with a girl like me. By the way, you know you promised me something.
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't owe money, sir.
Sam, please, would you go out and purchase these items and have them added to my account at each shop? When you leave and return, be sure to leave via the passageway that leads onto the Rue de Babylon. Do not use the doorway that leads onto the Rue Plumet. You must remember this.
Yes, I will, sir.
Thank you, Toussaint.
Dear Papa, you seem so careful on the late. What troubles you?
Sorry, Cosette, I do not mean to worry you.
I know you miss the convent, Papa. You love tending the gardens there, and I miss it too. You must also miss old Fauchelevent. He was a dear man and a close friend to you, I know.
Yes, we spent many a year of peaceful existence because of that great man. But here we are, doing what we can for those less fortunate than us, and trying to keep ourselves to ourselves in the process.
But you've become increasingly anxious, Papa. You appear constantly wary of all who approach us. Each week you visit the poor and the sick, yet you have not let us walk in the Luxembourg gardens for months.
I am sorry, Cosette. It is just for your well-being, you must know that. That is why Toussaint the maid lives with us, so you are never alone whenever I am away.
But no one else ever enters this house. The maid fetches all our provisions, but you seem to deny all approaches of friendship and company. Surely you must crave some companionship, Papa.
Cosette, I have you.
You will always have me.
I pray to the Lord, that is so, Cosette.
Papa, I have such a confused recollection of my childhood. I pray morning and evening for my mother, yet those Thénardier people remain like two hideous figures from a nightmare.
You should not concern yourself with
thoughts of those people?
I remember I was sent out to this dark forest to fetch water one evening. And it was you who saved me from that life. Since then, I've often thought that, although I know you're not my real father, that the soul of my mother has passed into you somehow, has come to dwell in me every day. I know it's hard for you, but perhaps one day you will tell me about my mother.
I promise you, Cosette, one day you shall know all of it.
Here you are, Mr. Marius. The address of the beautiful lady.
Henry, thank you so much for this. I'm forever in your debt. But remember, not a word to anyone.
Can keep the secret, Mr. Marius.
Thank you, Emily.
Anything for you, Mr. Marius. Why, it is you!
Pardon me, mademoiselle. Have no fear of me. I'm struck dumb that you've remembered me.
What is your name?
My name is Marius. And yours?
My name is Cosette.
Cosette. What a beautiful name. What a beautiful face.
Why, thank you.
It is a very long time since I last saw you. What feels like an eternity.
The 16th of June is almost a year ago.
You remember? I'm amazed. Oh, Cosette, how I've searched for you. I thought you had left Paris. One day I thought I saw you pass, but there was a lady with a bonnet just like yours. You see, sometimes I think I should die for what I feel. I adore you. Forgive me, I speak to you, but I do not know what I'm saying. Have I spoken out of turn?
Of course not, Marius. I too have been beside myself with love, and I have been since the moment I first saw you. I almost burst by not being able to speak about it for so long.
You love me then?
Surely you must know it.
From that day forward, they met in secret every night in that humble little garden.
It seemed to Cosette that Marius had a crown, and to Marius that Cosette had a nimbus.
They gazed at each other. They clasped each other's hands. They pressed close to each other.
But there was a distance they did not pass. To Marius, Cosette was like a perfume. He inhaled her.
They lived in this ecstatic state which can only be described as the dazzling of one soul by another.
What took place between these two beings? Nothing. They simply adored each other.
Do you know that my name is actually Euphrasie?
Euphrasie? Why no, your name is Cosette.
Oh no, Cosette is a very ugly name that was given to me when I was a little thing.
Cosette is not ugly. It is a beautiful name.
Do you like it better than Euphrasie then?
Why, yes.
I like it better too. Truly, it's quite pretty. Call me Cosette.
I will, my love. How beautiful you are, Cosette. I dare not look at you. It is all over with me when I contemplate you. You are a grace. I do not know what is the matter with me.
Marius, I've been falling in love with you a little more with every passing moment.
Marius never set foot in the house. When he was with Cosette, they spent their time in the garden,
Contenting themselves in conversation and holding each other's hands constantly.
At these times, a thunderbolt might have struck, but they would not have noticed it. So deeply were they absorbed in each other.
Every time that Marius entered and left the garden, he carefully adjusted the bar on the gates in such a manner that no displacement was visible.
He was careful not to alert the attentions of Cosette's father whilst he was with her. Others had noticed his movements.
Oh, it's you. Eponine, you must know you've done me the most wondrous of favours, and I thank you for it.
My pleasure, Mr. Marius.
My dear Eponine, if there's anything I can do for you in return,
Good evening, Mr. Marius.
This is the place.
George, this one!
My eldest, Azelma. She's been following the young lad who comes here to court the girl who lives here. An old man lives here too, but he comes and goes. It's just the maid and the girl at the minute. It's right for the pig. What jade is this? Don't you know your own daughter? What are you doing here, Penny? Get away! Can't you see job on hand here?
You can expose yourself to no purpose. That house is empty. You won't find a sou in there.
Go to the devil! Once we've turned this place upside down, the cellars in the attic will tell you what's inside, whether it's ranks or sewer in dust.
Well, I don't mean you shall enter that house. If you lay a hand on that gate, I'll scream.
You are a grateful little wretch.
Do as you like, but you shall not enter here because it doesn't suit me, see? You can use your knives. I'll use kicks. Come on, I ain't afraid of anything. Not even you, father.
She's lost her mind,
You only have to cry out and people will come.
Don't! So I seem ashamed to miss this one. It's going now!
That's it. You've had your chance. I warned you.
You'll pay for this, my girl!
Eveline, was it you who screamed? What's the matter?
There were so many, Mr. Maris, but I swear I did not leave them here.
My dear Eveline, thank you. Did you see who they were?
No. I heard them talking in the street after you and I spoke, so I followed them here. And once I knew of their plan, I let out that scream.
Brave Eveline. Once again, I'm in your debt.
Marius, what is happening? And who's this?
Never mind. I'm just a friend of Mr. Marius. Good evening to you both.
Cosette, you must warn your father that there were suspicious men lurking in the alley behind the garden gate. He will ensure you are safe, but as ever, keep our love a secret. Do not tell him of us.
You have my word, Marius. Although it's very hard for me to keep such a thing from him.
I know, Cosette, I understand. But it will not be long before we can explain everything to him. A little more patience, my love. What's the matter?
Marius, my father told me this morning to hold myself in readiness. That he may have business out of town and might have to go away from here very soon. That we might be going to England.
No, this cannot be! No, when shall you set off and when do you return?
He did not say even if we shall return. If my father goes, I must go too. But I do not want to. But listen, I will tell you where we are and you can come and join me.
To do so, I would need money. And I have none. I'll go to England, but I haven't even enough money to pay for a passport. Cosette, do you love me?
I adore you.
Then please, for me, do not weep.
I will try. Marius, do you love me?
Cosette, I love you with all my heart. Now listen, do not expect me until the day after tomorrow.
A day without seeing you, that's impossible.
Let us sacrifice one day in order to gain our whole lives, perhaps.
Tell me your thoughts, Marius. If you have some plan, tell me so that I may pass a pleasant night.
It's impossible that God should mean to part us. I'm going to try something.
Then I pray to the good God that you will be successful. I will question you no further, since you do not wish it. Listen, the day after tomorrow you will come at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock precisely, do you hear?
I understand. And now that I think of it, you ought to know my address. Something might happen, one never knows. Until then, Cosette.
Pardon me, sir.
Yes, mademoiselle. What is it I can do for you?
That's the first question you ask. What you can do for me.
I'm sorry.
No matter. It only proves that what I've come to tell you is the right thing to do. I've come to warn you, sir. You must clear out of your house tonight, you and your loved ones.
For what reason?
For your own safety, sir.
I do not understand.
All you need to understand is that you must clear out of your house tonight as soon as you can.
Surely there is no need
There
for
is
us.
every need, sir, and you must listen to me. There are people who plan your harm, and they are serious about it. I cannot tell you who, but they are bent on some sort of revenge.
Who are you? What is your name?
My name is of no importance, sir. But what I know is, these men were prowling around your house last night, and my scream scared them off, but that will not stop them. They have ways to deal with one such as me.
Forgive me, I'm caught off guard with this news, but I thank you for what you have done for us.
Please, give me no thanks, sir. Just heed my words and clear out of here tonight.
But stay! Let me protect you from these people.
That you cannot do, sir. You must go now, but good evening to you, kind sir. Good luck.
Cosette! Cosette!
Yes,
Cosette!
Papa?
Quickly, pack your things. We must all leave here as soon as we can.
But Papa...
Please obey me, Cosette. We have no time. Hurry! Come! Come, Cosette!
Monsieur Gilles Normand had been missing his grandson Marius every moment of every day of the 3 years since they parted company.
But his pride prevented him from seeking Marius out.
And pleading with him to settle their differences. He never inquired about him.
but thought of him incessantly. So it was to his surprise when, one day, quite out of the blue,
Well, boy, you come to beg my pardon. Do you acknowledge your fault?
No, sir.
And what do you want of me?
Sir, I know that my presence is displeasing to you, but I have come merely to ask one thing, and then I shall go away immediately.
Well, what is it? Speak.
Sir, I have come to ask your permission to marry.
Oh, you marry at 21?
Yes, sir. However, I have not the means to pay for it.
Come now. You have a profession of fortune made. Surely you can afford it. How much do you make at your trade as a lawyer?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing? Well, I understand the girl must be rich then.
As rich as I am.
What? No dowry? What about her father?
I don't know. Sir, I entreat you, please, permit me to marry her.
I see. You said to yourself, I know. I'm going to hunt out that old blockhead, and I'll say to him, you're only too pleased to see me, you old fool. I want to marry Mademoiselle no matter who, daughter of Monsieur no matter what. I want to throw my life, my career, my fortune to the dogs. I wish to plunge into wretchedness with a woman around my neck, and you must agree to it. The old fossil will surely consent. Well, never, sir. Never.
Oh, sir, if you only knew. I love her. I don't know how it came about, but I fell in love with her. And now, at last, I see her in our own home at the Rue Plumet, although her father does not know it. But they are going away. Her father means to take her away to England. Look, I must marry her, sir. I shall go mad otherwise.
Pretty girls are pretty girls. There's no objection to that. This one, she receives you without her father's consent. Well, it's an established order of things. I've had adventures of that sort myself. But one doesn't take it very seriously and make up one's mind to marry. One shows good sense. Amuse yourself. Take it. It's the way this affair should be treated. Don't marry her, make her your mistress.
Sir, 3 years ago you insulted my father. Today you have insulted my future wife. I ask nothing more of you. Farewell.
Farewell indeed!
What have I done? Have I done? This time he will not come back.
Cosette, come quickly, we must leave soon!
I'm coming, Papa. Excuse me. Yes, lady. I will give you 5 francs to deliver this letter for me. Please, it's very important.
Must be for 5 francs, lady.
Will you do this for me? Please, sir. Thank you, I'm incredibly grateful.
Cosette, come, we must hurry!
I'm coming, Papa. Thank you, sir.
in the spring of 1832, following harvest failures, food shortages, increases in the cost of living, and a Europe-wide outbreak of cholera.
Paris was ripe for revolt and resembled a piece of artillery which, when loaded, it only takes a spark for a shot to be fired. In June of that year, that spark was the death of General Lamarck, man of the people.
On the preceding evening and on the morning of the 5th of June, the day appointed for Lamarck's burial, the funeral procession's tumultuous network of streets was filled with rumours and also with people.
They armed themselves as best they might. Conversations took place in various places.
On various streets, all related to the coming uprising. They followed a similar pattern.
We need weapons.
I have my knife. I've got my cudgel.
I have my pistol.
What is your objective?
Insurrection!
On the 5th of June, General Lamarck's funeral procession traversed Paris with official military pomp.
10,000 National Guards with their swords at their side escorted the coffin.
The boulevards, balconies and windows swarmed with people. All eyes were filled with anxiety.
The dragoons advanced at a walk in silence, their swords in their scabbards.
Their guns slung in their leather sockets with an air of gloomy expectation.
At that moment, the dragoons and the crowd touched. What took place in that fatal minute, no one can say. It was the dark moment when two clouds come together.
3 shots were suddenly discharged. A woman screamed,
"They're beginning too soon!"
And all of a sudden, a squadron of dragoons bared swords. Then, the tempest was loosed. Stones rained down. A fusillade broke forth.
Stakes were torn up, pistol shots fired, a barricade was began. Rumour of war spread to all 4 quarters of Paris. Men shouted,
"To arms!" Wrath spread like a wind spreads a fire. Not a quarter of an hour had elapsed when
more barricades were being built at 20 different locations in Paris at once.
in the Latin Quarter, outside the Café Poussin, the friends of the ABC were gathered. They had built their barricade and were preparing to hold their ground.
Here for your daily visit, my little friend. I'll fetch you an apple.
No, Mama Buff, it's the riots!
What riots?
Cosette! Cosette!
Yes, they are fighting!
Good heavens, why are they fighting?
It's the revolution! Long live the people!
Cosette, this is our Marius! Are you in there?
In what area are they fighting?
In Hayward's and Arsenal, Wimbledon and Tremaine, and Chasselet, and many others!
Oh, come, Gavroche. I must get myself together. This is my fight too!
Cosette, please hear me!
I'm going to the barricade in the Rue Jean-Brie. That's where Schwartz and his men are.
A barricade is no place for a little chap like you, Gavroche.
Well, it's no place for an old man like you. Even
I suppose you have a point there. Anyway, come with me, Gavroche, but stay low there.
She is gone. I have lost her.
Comrades, for my part, I don't tremble before their arms. Do any of you? No! Gavroche, you should not be here. Father of birth, don't you hide also. Why?
There is going to be a fight, that is well.
Thrusts of the sword and firing, Father of birth.
That is well also.
Firing from cannon.
Need I say it again?
What a fierce old fellow.
When occasion demands, yes.
Where is Marius?
I don't know.
He was in my lodge when I saw him last.
Does anyone know who I'm with?
Ah,
Marius's love affairs.
no. He said he would join us to watch Lamarck's funeral procession, but I've not seen him.
It was a marvellous sight and the fitting spark that lit our flame. Friends, Lamarck is with us in spirit. Comrades, we shall overthrow the government as sure as Nightfallow's Day! Yes! All is quiet at present, but we must keep watch throughout the night. We will take 2-hour rotations. Jean Prouvaire and I will take the first watch. The rest of you, eat and drink. And go steady with the wine. We must keep clear heads.
That warning comes a little late, Grant's hair. Gentlemen, I understand only love and liberty. Oh, if I were rich, there would be no more poor people. Oh, if only kind hearts had fat purses, how much better things would go.
Hold your tongue, you cuss!
Grantaire, this is a place of enthusiasm and courage, not drunkenness. Go and sleep it off in the cafe. Don't disgrace the barricade. Rotin, surrender your weapon.
As you wish, Lord General.
I thank you for joining us at this barricade, Father of Earth. You have my respect and my admiration.
Thank you, Angela. However, I ask for neither.
I want a gun. Why don't you give me a gun?
Give you a gun? When we have enough guns for the men, we'll give some to the children.
All right. But if you for me, I can take yours.
That's a comfort.
Rest, men. Rest while you can.
Night is fully calm. Stars light the sky.
And we have heard naught but confused noises and distant fusillades.
This respite is a sign that the government is taking its time in collecting its forces. Gavroche, I have a task for you. You are small, you will not be seen. Will you go out of the barricade, slip along close to the houses, skirmish about a bit in the streets, and report back to us here?
So us little chaps are good for something, eh? I'll go. Toss the little fellow and kiss us in the big ones.
Men, I hear something. Someone approaches. Be ready.
Is it Mr. Gavroche?
No, it is a man. One man. Halt! Come no closer!
Do not shoot! I have no weapon and no uniform.
What is your purpose?
I'm here to join you.
Walk slowly and raise your hands.
I bring you intelligence. I used to be in the king's armies, but no longer. Will you allow me to fight with you?
We do not know you. How can we trust you?
I have no weapon. I can help you. I have news of their plans.
Speak. Impart what you know, and then we will decide.
Very well. Your enemy will not attack tonight. They intend to keep you awake and wear you down. They will launch their first assault in the morning, when you're at your most weary.
How do you know this?
Like I said, I used to be one of them. Besides, I have overheard them talking these last few hours. I know where to hide, where to listen.
If you speak the truth, then we are grateful for your support and for the intelligence. If you lie, you are dead.
I understand.
Courfeyrac, see he has bread and wine, but no weapon. Not yet. Do you accept? Combeferre, take my place on the watch. Courfeyrac, you lead Jean Prévert. You and I will talk, sir. May I have your name?
Of course. It is Cabot.
Very well, Cabot. Have some refreshment and tell me what you can.
When the assault comes, they will flank you by rooftop and alleyway as well as a frontal attack.
Are you certain of this?
Quite certain.
What about their number? How many will they send to each position?
That I cannot say, but if my
Good
experience said
evening,
it to go by...
Inspector.
Inspector?
Yes, he's a police guy.
Are you sure of it?
It isn't 2 weeks since he hauled me off the Port Royal by my ear as I was taken in the air.
Hold him! Javert, Inspector of Police, and the signature of the Prefect of Police, Monsieur Gisquet. Give him back his watch and purse. We are not thieves and we do not want his blood money. Bind him!
It is the mouse who's caught the cat, Inspector. Do feel free to remain. Why not take in the air?
As a police spy, you will be shot 10 minutes before this barricade is taken. Friends, what that man did is a crime and he will answer for that. The day will come when all will be concord, harmony, joy and life, and it is in order that it may come that we are about to die. Take your places, men!
Right.
Who goes there? The French Revolution!
Comrades! Let us not waste our ammunition. Let us wait till they are in the street before replying.
You're right, Kovrak. Let us raise the flag again. Who is there here with a bold heart? Does no one volunteer?
It's good to have a cause again, Enjolras. I thank you. If I die, I will die with forever. Long live the Republic!
He was unarmed! Come on, let's get him down. Let's get him down. Come on, come on. That's it. Be at peace, Father. You have the heart of a Brutus. Citizens, this is the example which the old give to the young. We hesitated, he did not. This is what those who are trembling with age teach to those who tremble with fear. This aged man has had a long life and a magnificent death. Now, may his presence in our midst render the barricade impregnable. This is our flag now. Long live the revolution! Long live the revolution!
Lay down your arms, Solman! All of you! Or blow up the barricade.
Block the barricade and block yourself also?
Yes, and myself also.
Fall back! Fall back! Marius!
Here you are! What luck! You came in opportunely.
If it had not been for you, Mr. Marius, I should have been dead.
As would we all. They're getting through. Someone needs to go and scout and report back. Jean Prouvaire, no one knows the alleys and shadows of this quarter better than you. Will you go?
Of course. I'll return shortly. Rest assured.
Who is this?
Prepare yourself, Marius. It's Father Mabeuf.
He died the death of a hero of the people, Marius.
He bore the red flag at the height of the barricade. It was cut down by a hail of bullets.
He was braver than any man here.
Father Mabeuf, why did you come here?
He wouldn't be kept away, Mr. Marius. He said this cause was supposed to be set free. It was like he knew he would not return.
Dear Father Mabeuf, sleep amidst a heaven full of your plants and flowers. We must bear him hence from here. We must place him in the cafe at the very least. Who will help me?
Comfort, take the watch. Gavroche, train your pistol at the inspector. If he moves, fire. Ah, Rantaire. You slept off your intoxication?
Indeed I have, Enjolras. How may I be of service? Set me a task. I will not fail you.
Very well. Take up a rifle and stand post on the barricade.
What is the situation, my friend?
We are, of course, outnumbered and holding firm. We have their agent whom Gavroche is covering.
Who is it? Do you have his name and rank?
Gavroche recognised him. He tried to infiltrate us as a volunteer, but he is a police spy. His name is Javert.
You in the barricades! We have your steps! You must surrender immediately, or his life and all of yours will be sacrificed!
Enjolras, we must rescue Jean Prouvaire! I will go out with a flag of truce and exchange our man for theirs! Jean Prouvaire, run!
Run! Vive France! Long live France!
Who's this? Godfrey, hand me that lamp. Eponine! My God, what are you doing here? You're wounded. My God, why did you come here?
There was a gun aimed at you, so I stopped him.
God, Eponine, no! We must get you to a surgeon.
Be careful, better than any surgeon. Just stay with me here, I beg of you.
I will stay. I will, Eponine. I will.
I no longer suffer.
No, you must stay with me, Eponine.
Gavroche, do not take your pistol away from that spy.
My brother, Gavroche.
Oh, Gavroche is your brother. But he should know.
Do not go. It will not be long now. Give me, Mr. Marius. I was told to prize it, but I kept it. I'm sorry, but I believe I was a little bit in love with you.
Marius! Marius, I'm sorry. Who was she?
Her name was Eponine. A brave but tormented soul, for whom life had little happiness. And for that at least she's now released.
Marius, you drink. You need it. I'll cover.
Do not let Gavroche see her. She was his sister.
Sister? Poor Gavroche.
To Monsieur Marius Pommecy, my dearest, alas, my father insists upon us setting out immediately. We shall be this evening in Rue de l'Homme number 7. Come to see me there. We will explain all to my father and we shall be together for always. You must meet me there this evening or soon after, for in a week we shall be in England. Cosette, June 4th.
Oh, my Cosette, do not abandon me. She still loves me. Eponine, how many more times can you save me? May the heavens bless your soul. All I can do for you now is to try to save your little brother.
My dearest Cosette, our marriage was impossible. I asked my grandfather, he refused. I have no fortune, and neither have you. I hastened to your house at Rue Plumet, but you are no longer there. You know the promise that I gave to you. I shall keep it. It is likely that by the time you read this, I shall have died with my comrades on the barricade. Please know that I love you, Cosette. Yours eternally, Marius.
Gavroche, will you do something for me? Please, deliver this letter to the address on it.
Of course, Mr. Marius. But in the meanwhile, the barricade may be taken, and I shall not be here.
By all appearances, the barricade will not be taken before noon.
Well, what if I were to deliver a letter tomorrow?
The barricade will most likely be blockaded and you will not be able to get out. But go at once, please.
All right, I'll go. Though shall be back in time for the battle.
Thank you, Gavroche.
We must add to our number if we are to hold our ground. Courfeyrac, you and I will go and see if we can drum up support. Marius, Combeferre, Grantaire, stay here. Keep the watch.
They will not succeed. The people are afraid. No one is coming to join you. By this time tomorrow, you will all be dead.
Yes, lad. What can I do for you?
Well, since you asked, I am a little hungry.
Here, lad. This should feed you for a week.
Most generous, sir. I have a letter from Mademoiselle Cassette. Does she live here, sir?
Who told you that, dear boy?
The man who gave me the letter. A man in at the barricade, in the Café Moussin.
I see. Would you give that letter to me to give to her?
You have the air of an honest man. So here you are. I must return fast.
My dear lad, I advise you to stay away from that barricade.
Duly noted, kind sir, but my comrades are depending on me.
Men, we are back. Where is Marius?
There was a small skirmish whilst you were away. He's in the cafe attending to a fledgling.
Very well. What about the people?
We could rally no more of the people to arms. No one will open their door to us.
So be it. Let us offer the protests of corpses. Let us show the people that if they abandon the Republicans do not abandon the people.
Hold fast! Someone approaches. He's in uniform. Shall open fire on Gerard.
He is in uniform, but appears to be unarmed.
A messenger, perhaps?
Messenger or not, take aim! He's holding up his hands. Hold your fire. Allow him through. What is your business with us? Are you with the King's army?
Gentlemen, I wore the uniform coat in order to pass through to you unchallenged, but I am no soldier.
Do not seek to spy on us, sir. We already have one of their number who sought to do so.
I knew you would need some proof. Here. This is a dispatch I intercepted from a commander of the Bastille. It is how I obtained the uniform coat. You may find that of interest.
Do you believe this?
What's not to believe? This is a genuine communication from your enemy that is not an hour old. I will stay and fight with you, if you will permit me.
You are welcome, citizen. But having read this yourself, you must know that all here are about to die.
It is not over yet. You said you had already captured a spy? Where is he?
Over there.
Enjolras, there's activity ahead. I hear a sound of rolling thunder approaching.
That thunder heralds the arrival of the cannoneers.
Is that what the dispatch spoke of, Enjolras? After the fillip on the nose with the blow from the fist, the army retreating is a big pour out to us.
Barricade is going to be severely shaken up. Fusillade tries. Cannon takes.
Ready your guns, men, but stay low and wait for my signal. Let us prevent the second discharge, men. Up and fire! Citizen, you hit the captain of the gun in his leg.
Good shooting, citizen.
Enemy sniper or scout, whichever. He's retreating. They will not try that again in a hurry.
You hit his shooting arm. You seem quite the marksman, citizen. You're in your debt.
Fools! They're getting their own men shot!
Yes. They're using up our ammunition bit by bit in the process. Another quarter of an hour of this, and there won't be any left for us.
Enjolras, who lies beneath the cloth?
The young girl who knew Marius, I believe. We intended to place her in the cafe with the other dead, but we
I
have
quite
been...
understand.
As I'm led to believe, she saved the life of Marius. She knows you, sir.
Yes, I know. For you see, she saved my life also. And that of my daughter too. I will take her and put her in a more fitting place.
Of course. Thank you. Corporal, take the watch from Grunter.
Wait! I see someone at the base of the barricade.
It's Lieutenant Gavroche.
What are you doing out there, Gavroche?
it! We can't skip! These dead soldiers don't! Depend on the little fellows, remember?
Come back, Gavros, they're preparing to open fire!
They won't hit the Mr. Six! I'll take the target for them!
Get back, Gavros! No, Gavros, no! Please! Not the child! Stay back! His grand little soul has taken his flight. A heart of steel, brave to the last.
Comrades, his death will not be in vain.
Enjolras, it's almost time.
Indeed. This is when the dispatch said they would attack. Men, gather round. Keep those guns loaded and at hand. Because of Gavroche's bravery, we each have more rounds to fire.
Enjolras, earlier on, you said you were in my debt.
Indeed. In the name of the Republic, the barricade has several saviours, including yourself.
Then you can recompense me by allowing me to deal with the spy.
He is yours. Men, take your positions.
Enjolras, who was that man with the spy? Do you know his name?
No. He's been of great service to us here today. He asked to be the one to execute the spy, and I was happy to sanction it.
Take your revenge, 24601. A knife. Yes, that suits a thief much better.
Go. I do not believe I shall survive this, but if I do, you can find me living under the name of LeBlanc, Rue de la Marmée, number 7. You go.
This will not gain you a pardon from justice, Valjean.
I said, go.
Men, we must steel ourselves. The whole army of Paris is ready to strike. A third of that army and the National Guard is bearing down upon all of the barricades. Within 1 hour, we will be attacked. It is my honour to call you my friends. Marius, it is time and they will soon launch their offensive. Tell me, are you with us, brother?
I am with you.
Fetch a weapon and take your post on the barricade.
It's done.
Marius! Men, this is it! We face down death and make a last stand for the people and for the Republic! For the Republic! with you, my brother! Long live the Republic!
Come along. I want this barricade searched and cleared. Soldier!
Yes, Inspector?
Have you found anyone matching the description I gave you?
Not as yet, Inspector.
Keep looking. Report anything of note to me immediately.
Yes, sir.
On second thought, send for me when the dead from this barricade are lined up in the cafe. Although instinct tells me you might be a monk.
Indeed, there was nothing of any interest to Javert to be found.
So many wasted lives, the bodies of young men, some shredded by bullets, others obliterated by camel.
Insurrection had been put down. Total casualties in the uprising
numbered over 800. The Army and the National Guard had a total of 73 killed, 344 injured. On the insurgent side, 93 were killed and 291 were wounded. The forces of the insurrection were spent.
After the dust settled, the government portrayed the rebels as an extremist minority.
Louis Philippe's monarchy continued to reign until the French Revolution of 1848.
So our paths cross again, 24601.
Yeah. I have considered myself your prisoner since this morning. I did not give you my address with any intention of escaping. However, I am trying to return this boy to where he lives, which according to a note I found in his pocket is with his grandfather, Gilles Normand, in the Marais. Assist me taking him back there, and then I am at your disposal.
Show me the note. Very well. I will help you deliver him to this address. I have a coach nearby. But once he has been delivered, you will come with me. Your name is Jean Normand, correct?
Yes, Inspector, but
Your grandson is brought back. He was killed at the barricades. I've placed the body in your library.
Man, he's killed at the barricade, but surely you're mistaken, Inspector.
I am convinced of it. We may, of course, call for a physician for an expert opinion.
Thank you for returning him to us, Inspector.
Do not thank me, sir. I have delivered him, yes, but I did not retrieve him from where he fell. Good night.
Good night, Inspector. Barnes, send for my physician immediately.
You surprised me, 24601, but you did not steal away whilst I was inside.
Javert, I have some final matters to attend to. Would you accompany me to my home?
Very well. What hell is this? My head has lost its transparency. I feel duty divided within my conscience. By pure good fortune, I encountered Valjean as he emerged from the sewer. There was in me in that moment something of the wolf which regains its grip on its prey, but also of the dog who finds his master again. To owe my life to a malefactor, to accept that debt and to repay it, to be, in spite of myself, on a level with a fugitive from justice, and to accept that service with another service? Oh, this dilemma overwhelms me. Ah, Javert, have seen fit to decide, contrary to all the regulations of the police, contrary to the whole social and judicial order, contrary to the entire code, upon a release? It is clear. I must return with all haste to the Rue de l'Homme and conduct Jean Valjean to prison. Yet I cannot. Admiration for a convict? Respect for a galley slave? Impossible! He is a fugitive from justice who broke his parole! I should offer up my saviour to the authorities. Then I should have the basin of conscious pilot brought in which to wash my clothes. How have I come to such a pass? What has this convict done? This desperate man whom I have pursued even to persecution, who had me under his boot and could have avenged himself, and yet he spared my life! Does he not realize that in doing so, he has killed me regardless? All is black. There is no other path.
Covered with blood. A bullet had skinned his torso, but it was not fatal.
He also had a broken collarbone and a severe concussion. However, the physician was optimistic.
Monsieur Gillenormand passed every night beside Marius. Every so often,
A well-dressed gentleman came to inquire about the wounded Marius.
4 months after the night had been returned to his grandfather in a dying condition,
The doctor declared that Marius was out of any danger, but must rest for 2 months more.
As for Marius, he had but one fixed idea, Cosette. And when the fever and delirium had left him,
He did not pronounce her name again. He did not know what had become of Cosette.
the whole affair of the barricade was a dark cloud in his memory. A deep depression set in.
Shadows that were almost indistinct floated across his mind. Eponine, Gavroche,
Mabeuf and all his friends gloomily intermingled with the smoke of the barricade.
He did not know how or by whom he'd been saved, and those around him did not know either.
on the 17th of November, a man called and asked to speak with Marius.
Monsieur Gillenormand agreed, of course. However, the man was not alone.
I am delighted you're making such a good recovery.
Indeed, sir. This leads me to say something to you.
And what is it?
If I can find her, I wish to marry.
Agreed. You shall have your heart's desire.
Really, sir?
Yes. You shall have that pretty little girl of yours. She comes to me every day in the shape of a respectable gentleman to ask after you. He tells me that ever since you were wounded, she's done naught but weep.
But I thought that...
Reckoned on her bickering. Didn't expect to find your grandfather as foolish as you yourself, did you, my boy? She's adorable. She's a jewel, and she adores you. Was that? So be it. Love, so be it. Be happy, my well-beloved boy.
Father, thank you.
His mouth is unstopped at last. He has said father to me.
But, Father, now that I'm quite well, might I see her?
That has already been put in motion, my boy. Ah. I will leave you two to your deliberations.
Monsieur Pontmercy, how are you feeling?
I'm almost fully healed, thank you, sir.
I am most pleased to hear that. I understand you were seriously injured in the barricade. I believe you lost many comrades in the fighting. For that I am truly sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Monsieur Pontmercy, I shall delay you no further in telling you my purpose here today. We must speak of a person whom we both know very well. You must understand, this person has explained all to me. She has told me of your courtship in the weeks leading up to the insurrection, and of your wish to keep the affair a secret from me. But have no fear. If your intentions are true, of which I have little doubt, then you have my blessing.
You speak of Cosette, sir?
Yes, I speak of Cosette.
Forgive me, we did not meet...
No more words. You have suffered quite enough. And as for Cosette, well, let us say I am most anxious to see her smile again. Cosette!
Marius! My dear Marius!
Oh, I thought I would never see you again.
As did I.
How did you find me?
My father searched exhaustively, made inquiries, and eventually traced you here.
My eternal thanks to you, sir. How can I ever repay you?
You already have, my dear boy.
Thank you, Papa.
I shall leave you two to your day. I am sure you have much to discuss.
Good day to you, sir. And thank you again. Do you understand any of this? It's all too much for me to absorb.
I'm not sure I understand it all either, my love. But it does seem to me that the good God did not intend to tear us apart, just like you said when we were last together.
On the 16th of February, 1833, Marius and Cosette were married.
The day was full of celebration and splendour, and Cosette was once again deliriously happy.
As was Marius, whose relationship with his grandfather was now better than ever before.
He still suffered with dark dreams, in which his dead friends appeared to him.
But he was comforted by the belief that they had emerged from that dark cloud of events with their love intact.
Before the wedding, Jean Valjean gave Marius 600,000 francs as Cosette's dowry.
And told Marius and Cosette that he had injured his right hand in an accident and had to wear a sling.
Meaning that he couldn't sign the marriage documents. Monsieur Jules Normand had to sign it instead.
There was a very good reason for this. And then Jean Valjean sank into a deep contemplation.
Should he impose his time in the galleys on those two young children? Or should he remain silent?
On the one hand lay the sacrifice of Cosette, whom he thought, if she knew the truth, would disown him.
On the other lay that of himself if he remained silent. At what decision should he arrive?
Father, Cosette is asleep, but how glad I am to see you. You must know that Cosette wants you to come and live here with us. She plans to lead us all by the nose, I warn you. Cosette...
Marius! There is something I must tell you. Something you should know. I am an ex-convict.
What?
I invented the injury to my hand so that I might not introduce a flaw into the marriage documents. I am an ex-convict who spent 19 years in the galleys at Toulon.
This cannot be.
I'm afraid it can. As things stand, I have broken my parole, and as such I am a wanted man. You should know my name is not Leblanc, but Jean Valjean. You should also know that I am not related by blood to Cosette. 10 years ago I did not know she existed. Oh, I love her, believe that. She was an orphan and she needed me. But now I have fulfilled my duty towards Cosette. She is now Madame Pontmercy, and her providence has changed, and Cosette gains by the change. As for the 600,000 francs dowry, where did I obtain that, you may ask? Let us just say that is the fortune owed, made by an honest, hard-working glass factory owner.
But why tell me all this? Who forces you to do so? You could have kept your secret to yourself. You were neither denounced, nor tracked, nor pursued. Clearly there is something more. What is your motive?
The motive is honesty. That is why I have come here today to tell you all. In days gone by, I stole a loaf of bread in order to live. Today, in order to live, I will not steal a name.
You do not need that name in order to live. Besides, my grandfather has influential friends. I can procure your pardon.
I require but one pardon, Marius. That of my conscience. You must...
Ah, there you both are. I will wager you were talking politics. How stupid that is instead of being with me. People should not discuss politics the day after a wedding. It's not right.
You are mistaken, Cosette. We were merely talking business. We were discussing the best investment of your 600,000 franc dowry. Such a conversation will only serve to bore you.
I beseech you, my Marius, let me stay here with you. Father, what do you mean by not saying anything? Who gave me a father such as that? You must perceive that my family life is terribly unhappy. My husband beats me. Father, defend me against this brute of a husband.
Cosette.
Father, say that I must stay. Surely you can talk in front of me. Business. Putting money in a bank. A great matter truly. Men make mysteries out of nothing. Now may I please stay?
No, Cosette, no. We must finish something.
Then I will go. Monsieur my father, Monsieur my husband, you are both tyrants. I shall tell Grandpapa, and you shall see, it is you who will be born without me.
Poor Cosette. When she finds out...
Marius, please, give me your word of honour. You will tell none of this to Cosette. It will destroy her.
Though it is hard for me to accept, be at your ease. I shall keep your secret for myself alone.
Thank you, Marius. If you do not disapprove of it, I shall come and visit Cosette from time to time. I will not come often. When I do, I shall not remain long. Please, put yourself in my place. I have little left but that.
You may come whenever you wish, sir. And Cosette will be waiting for you.
Thank you, Marius.
Life went on, and Marius stayed true to his word. Despite Cosette's constant protestations,
Jean Valjean refused to leave his abode to live with them. As time went by,
His visits became less frequent. Without Cosette, Jean Valjean began to fade.
As if purpose was leaving him piece by piece. One day, after 5 days without a visit or a letter,
Marius and Cosette called on him in his abode in the Rue de l'Aumarne, but he was nowhere to be found.
The portress of his house said he seemed like a man who had lost somebody dear to him.
people die of that, she said. 2 days ago, he simply disappeared. All he had taken with him were
2 candlesticks, a journal, and young Cosette's little dress. Cosette was inconsolable.
Thank you for granting us an audience, Monsieur le Baron.
Let us cut to the chase. What do you want?
So be it, Monsieur le Baron. You have in your house a thief and an assassin. His name is Jean Valjean.
He's an ex-convict, 19 years at the galleys at Toulon for theft.
I know. Just as I know your name, Thénardier. You're also John Dress, Fabantou, Jean Flop, Don Alvarez the Spaniard, and you also, Mistress Balazar.
Mrs. What?
And you kept a pothouse at Montfermeil.
Pothouse? Never, not us.
You see, I have obtained information of my own also. Jean Valjean is, as you say, an assassin and a thief. A thief because he stole from a wealthy manufacturer, a Monsieur Madeleine whose ruin he brought about. And an assassin because he assassinated police agent Javert.
Monsieur le Baron, we are on the wrong track. It was Jean Valjean himself who was Madeleine, and he did not assassinate Javert because the person who killed Javert was, well, Javert.
What are you trying to say?
Javert committed suicide. Look, police agent Javert found drowned under Pont Neuf. I speak to you because I have printed proof. 2 proofs, 2 facts.
Then this unhappy wretch is an admirable man. The whole of that fortune really belongs to him. He is Madeleine. He is Jean Valjean, Javert's saviour. He's a hero.
No.
He is a saint.
No. Jean Valjean did not rob Madeleine, but he is a thief. He did not assassinate Javert, but he is a murderer. Monsieur, what I have to reveal to you is known to no man. But it can be yours for only 10, 15,000 francs.
Go on.
On the 6th of June, 1832, on the day of the insurrection, a man in the main Paris sewer passed another carrying a corpse upon his back. The man said, "You see what I have? I need to get out. You have a key, give it to me." But the convict was a man of great strength. He was not to be refused. The man contrived, without the assassin perceiving it, to cut a piece of the assassinated man's coat, a document for future conviction, you understand. Now, the man carrying the corpse was Jean Valjean. The man with the key is talking to you now. And the piece of coat. The piece of coat!
Stay here. I'll be back presently.
I think he believes us, wife. He's got to get more money.
You could be right, husband. Let's see.
Monsieur le Baron, I am convinced that the young man
was myself. And here is the coat.
Well, I'll struggle a heap.
You're an infamous wretch and a liar. I know enough about the pair of you to send you to the galleys, and even further if I choose.
here are 15,000 francs. Villain, take it and leave. However, I will give a further 15,000 francs if you can tell me where Jean Valjean is now.
You might try the Rue Valet, Church Saint-Jacques.
Now disappear. Go and get yourselves hung elsewhere.
Thank you.
Thank you, monsieur.
Cosette! Cosette!
What is it, Marius?
I'll explain all, but we can't lose a minute. We must leave at once.
Let us deal with the Thénardiers at once. The husband, wife, and Azelma set sail for New York.
They entered America under false names.
Thénardier and his wife were in America exactly what they had been in Europe.
Marriage's money, Thénardier set up as a slave dealer.
But he and his wife soon fell foul of the law and were imprisoned.
Madame Thénardier died of disease whilst awaiting sentence.
Thénardier served 10 years in prison. He died soon after his release from illness and starvation.
Only their daughter Azelma prospered. She left her parents as soon as they disembarked.
Father!
Oh, Cosette! Cosette, it is you. Thank the good God. Thank the good God.
Father, why have you stayed away for so long? You've been ill and you've not known of it.
Do you pardon me then?
Papa, Marius has told me of your past, and there is nothing to pardon.
Monsieur Pontmercy, will you pardon me also?
Cosette, do you hear? He asked my forgiveness. Behold the man, the barricade, the sewer, all that he risked and endured for us. Cosette, your father is an angel.
Why tell all that?
But why did you not tell it? You save people's lives and you conceal it from them. You are her father and you are mine. You shall not pass another day alone. Do not think you will be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I shall not be here. But I shall not be with you.
What do you mean?
Cosette, you have a husband now. You no longer need a father.
I do not know how to respond to such nonsense. Father, there is a carriage waiting for you at the door, and your room stands ready in our home. If you can see how pretty the garden is now. You have your own plot of land in the back of the garden. You shall cultivate it, and we shall see whose strawberries are nicer, yours or mine. Father, why are your hands so cold? Father, my father, you will live. You're going to live. I insist upon you living. Do you hear?
Cosette, it is nothing to die. Death is a good arrangement. It is only dreadful not to live, Cosette.
Is it possible that we have found you just to lose you all over again?
Listen to me now. I have bequeathed to you both the candlesticks there. They are of silver, but to me they are gold, as was the man who gave them to me. You will remember, children, I was a poor man, and I will be buried under a blank stone to mark the spot. Yes, this is my wish. If you choose to visit the stone, now and then, it will give me pleasure. Cosette, the time has come for me to tell you the name of your mother. She was called Fantine. Remember that name. Kneel whenever you utter it. She loved you so dearly, Cosette. She suffered so much. She had as much unhappiness as you have had happiness. I have also left you a journal in which I have recorded all I can about the life of your mother, so you may know her and remember her, Cosette. Time flies. Do not weep. Children, come closer. Love each other well, and always. There is nothing else in the world but that. Love for each other.
In the cemetery of Père Lachaise, in the vicinity of the common graveyard, far from that elegant quarter of that sepulchre,
Far from all the tombs of fancy, which display all the hideous fashions of death in a deserted corner.
Beneath a great yew tree, amid dandelions and mosses, there lies a stone
that is no more exempt than any other from the leprosy of time. The water turns it green,
The air blackens it. The stone is perfectly plain, and in cutting it, the only thought was
To make it long enough to cover a man. No name is to be read there. Many years ago,
a hand wrote upon it these 4 lines.
That have become gradually illegible, which are today probably effaced.
he sleeps. Though his fate was very strange, he lived.
he died when he had no longer his angel.
the thing came to pass simply, of itself.
as night comes and the day is gone.